James was in love, or so he thought. He was also a prankster by nature, and he was having trouble trying to figure out a way to balance the two. Jessica was in his class, and he thought she was the prettiest girl he had ever seen. He was always trying to get her attention, and he usually did this in the most annoying way possible. He would pull her hair and play little jokes on her. "He's so mean," she told her mother. "You know," her mom replied, "boys usually only tease the girls that they like." "Ew, Mom, that's gross." But if she were being honest, there was something about what her mom said that made her feel better. Could it be true that of all the girls in the class, James had chosen her? Did he really like her, or was he just being mean? James had some conversations of his own about this, but not with his mom. He chatted about it with his best friend, Craig. He had sworn him to secrecy, but at the same time, there was something in the back of his mind that wanted this information to be leaked. "Who do you like?" he asked Craig. "Nobody," said Craig. "But everyone knows you like Jessica." "No, I don't," he lied. But he was blushing, and he knew Craig knew. "Okay," he admitted, "but don't tell anyone." Craig just laughed. "Do you think she likes me?" he asked. "There's no way," Craig responded. "You'd be lucky if she even says hi to you." James believed this. In his mind, there was no way she would like him like he liked her, but he could always dream. One morning in class, the teacher passed out a flyer about Valentine's Day. That was coming up the next week. The paper said you could order a small Valentine that could be sent to someone else, along with a personalized message. Everyone was excited about this and joked about who they thought would send one to who. James had decided that maybe this was his chance to gain Jessica's affection. Perhaps he should send one to her with a little romantic note. He thought about this the rest of the day. What should he say in the message? That night he went home and broke open his piggy bank. He had saved up plenty of money to pay for the Valentine. In fact, had he wanted to, he could buy several. Maybe that's what he should do. If he sent her a bunch, that might really win her over. So the next morning came, and he arrived at school with his life savings. He picked up several of the order forms from the office. He would fill them out later, all to the same girl. When he came into the classroom, he saw her. His heart skipped a beat as she walked toward him. As she approached, his legs began to feel weak. He was sure he might fall over before she even reached him. And then it happened. She walked right past him and completely ignored him. It was as if he didn't even exist. "I'm an idiot," he thought. "I was so stupid to think that she might like me." He was now feeling a bit sad and, if he was being honest, a little bit angry. Then he had an idea that made him feel better. He had all this money and all those order forms. He smiled and went back to his seat. He didn't know it, but what he was about to do was one of the biggest mistakes he would ever make. There were enough order forms for every boy in the class, so he filled them out for all the boys, and for the personalized message he wrote, "Love, Jessica." Genius, he thought. Later, he turned in all the orders, and he made the payment. Valentine's Day came, and people began arriving to school. The deliveries had been made before school, and many students were greeted with a Valentine on their desk. It soon became apparent that almost every boy in the class had received a Valentine's Day delivery that was signed Love, Jessica. Now, this was causing quite the commotion. Jessica arrived to the classroom and everyone was staring at her. Some other girls in the hallway had tipped her off at what was happening, but she thought maybe they were just joking. The looks she was receiving now told her it was no joke. This was for real. She had never been so embarrassed in her entire life. She did notice that the only boy that apparently had not received a Valentine was James. But he seemed to be the one enjoying this the most. With tears in her eyes, she turned toward the door to make her escape. Just before exiting, she dropped a carefully wrapped package into the trash can. This discarded package was the only Valentine she had brought to school that year. The label on it read, "Happy Valentine's Day to James from Jessica." I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, if you wouldn't mind clicking like, that'd be fantastic. Also, if you are new to the channel and have not subscribed, I would invite you to do that and to click the notification bell so that you can be alerted when a new video is uploaded. And also, if you have any friends who you think might enjoy our stories, if you wouldn't mind sharing with them, that would be fantastic. You could also email the email address that you see on the screen if you have a request for a topic for a future story. Again, thank you for listening, and goodbye.